Yo peeps, it's MC Noble. Welcome back to another live, and today we are gonna be talking about the aftermath of my live show that I did yesterday. I'm gonna be explaining how I got to be part of the show and how it helped me, and I'm gonna give you the general story of what happened with the show. Obviously how it went, exactly what I did, all of that stuff, and yeah, it should be quite good. We will see if some people do come into the stream before we start telling the story. If people don't come in soon, then I'm going to start telling it because people can obviously watch streams when they're not live. Obviously, when this is done, it will upload as a normal video. People can watch it. So, stuff like that. But if you are in here, could you please say hi? Just put hi, and it will just test that my Nightbot's still working. Yeah, I know it works like when I'm streaming on the PlayStation, but I've never done it on here. So if someone's watching, if they could just like put hi in the comments, it would like really help me. Or even if you put hello, that works as well. I think if you put yo as well, that also works. I've done it so like different things. Yeah, we've got a hi. There should be a Nightbot that comes through, but what I'll just have to see. I'll have to. I was gonna say it should work, but I'm not sure if it will. Let me just. Yeah, it does. I don't think it has, unless I have to have the Nightbot on, if you know what I mean. Like unless I have to be signed into the website for it to work. But just bear with me a second. I've got your hi. I've got your hi. I'm gonna watch my own live stream a second. Just check that for it coming in. Just quickly. Oh yeah, the Nightbot's here. Yeah, it just took a while to come in. So yeah, hello, welcome to my stream. Thanks for stopping. Please leave a like and sub if you want to see more from me. All right, that's good. Just to let you guys know as well, you can request songs. So if you want to request a song, bear with me, and I will. I'll set it up. So you can you can request a song now, but I've got to be signed into the website to play the song that you've requested. If you want to request a song, non-copyrighted, obviously, it's explanation mark song request space, and then you put the artist of the song and obviously the name of the track. But I'm just going to sign into the website. Oh, and then I'll get things set up if you do want to request a song, and then we'll get on to about this show and stuff like that. So I need to sign in. Log in. Let me just log into my Nightbot. It should work in a moment. I should be in a minute. MC Noble, yeah. And we should be about in. I might have to put the. No, I don't have to put my password in. I don't think. No, we're here now. Alright, yeah, so here we are. Alright, so if I go down to Auto DJ on the song requests. Alright, yeah, so it's got the last song that I requested from yesterday's stream. Right, so I'll just plug it into the audio, and then if you want to request a song, it's there as well. Alright, so about this live performance yesterday. So what am I talking about live performance? So I may as well just start with the whole story because it's it makes it more sort of understandable. So basically, I'm not going to go into too much detail about the first part, but earlier this year, I was left out of work. In other words, I was working with my family business, and some family stuff went down, and the business closed. So essentially, I was out of a job, and I waited a while to see if the business would like start back up again. You know, if we'd go back to work type thing, and sadly we didn't. So I obviously had to apply for Dole at the job centre. So I started going to the job centre, signing up, and the person at the job centre who I see, he's my work coach. He helps me look for work, and you know, he like gives me like tips on like where I should be looking for work and stuff like that. And he said, deep down, what would you really like to do? You know, what's the dream essentially? And you know, I wasn't sure, like, because I would have said this at first, but I wasn't sure if there was any work involved in it really. So I said, well, look, you know, I do a bit of rapping slash MCing. I'm doing quite well on the social media, and in the long run, I would potentially like to perform and stuff like that. So he said he had something for me, like a little group thing that I could go to, and he recommended me to a group called Find Your Voice. And what it is it was a group that ran at the Beverley Theatre, and it was just like a little like couple of hour sessions on a Monday and a Thursday morning, and it just helps build your confidence. And you just do like simple things like, you know, you meeting different people, and it's just supposed to like give people confidence with looking for work. And you know, people who can, you know, maybe who have had a bit of trouble in the past, that you know, like going out and stuff like that, find it a bit hard going out, and you know, a little bit shy and nervous in public and stuff like that. And it's just a place to come together, get to know each other, build the confidence at the theatre. And there was 5 sessions in total, and at the end, we had a play to do. Like we were like the first couple of sessions was pretty much like getting to know each other, all of that good shiz, and then pretty much what went down is we started working to this play, and on the last session, they said we would perform this play. So we all like took things that we were good at and sort of put it into the play. So some people didn't want to perform, so they helped with the stage and the lighting and stuff like that. And then there was like some other people who, you know, like wanted to read like poems and, you know, like messages and passages, who obviously read poems and stuff like that. Um, and then pretty much what went down is you know, obviously I MC and rap, so they said, would you write a rap and perform it? And essentially I said I would. So I wrote a rap to perform a rap, and some other people did like script reading and stuff like that, and you know, someone played a drum, you know, played an instrument and stuff like that, and someone did a solo bit of singing, and in all fairness, it was just you know, it was a good little play, and we did it yesterday. So yesterday was the performance day. So in the morning, we went there. We sort of like you know, like sort of like got to know each other again after like over the weekend. You not know each other, but you know, we just sort of like got sat a bit, you know, got comfy, you know, we didn't start like the second we arrived, if you get what I mean. And, you know, we just sort of like waited for everybody to turn up and got ready. And then pretty much we went over into the theatre, and we did like a little rehearsal. So like we did a rehearsal that doesn't have the music and stuff like that, had no sound and stuff like that. We went in, we did all of that stuff, and you know, they also explained a bit about what's going to happen today, stuff like that. We did, like I said, this little rehearsal, and then we took a break. We just had something like a 15-minute break or something. And we just, where we could just have a drink and stuff like that. Get our bearings about, go to the toilet and all of that good shiz. And then we did another rehearsal, which had the sound, but it was kind of like setting the sound up. So like essentially, like the sound was, you know, like the sound was there, if you know what I mean. the sound was, the sound was there. But they were kind of like setting it up, so I maybe won't do the whole rap. I'd do a bit, and then they'd like alter bits and just adjust the volume, all of that shiz. So we had a little bit of a run through. Then I think we had a little bit of a like just a little like exercisey type thing. I can't fully remember. Then we went for lunch. We had about 45 minutes for lunch. Where we just like relaxed and calmed down, got a bit of food down us. Then we came back. We did another rehearsal, which was kind of like, it was kind of the thing, no stopping. Go sort of right the way through. We did a rehearsal, then we did a little just like joined back as a group, and just sort of like in a way just that had a little bit of a talk, and then we got into position for the real thing, which the play started about 2:30. Well, they let people in about 2:30. And they, the Springboard played a little message, because this is who it's kind of like funded by, as the Springboard. And what went down is pretty much they played this little message, and then the play started. So what I had to do is where the theatre was, there's a backstage behind the stage. But there's also like a back room at the back of the auditorium, which gets you can go up like to the sound and the lighting, and there's like a little office and stuff like that. So I waited back there with another person. So the play was called Face Your Fears. So pretty much it's about like, it was aimed about a girl who technically isn't really confident. Pete, there's like a good voice and a bad voice, sort of like telling the different things. So like the good voice is saying like, yeah, go on, go out, you can do it, stuff like that. And there's a scene at more like sort of right at the beginning, where there's a door in sort of like in like involved in the play, and the door was kind of used like a good side and a bad side of the door, and sort of like in a way the bad side, like the nervous side of the door is like the door out on the stage. And at the beginning there's like a drum beat, so it goes like dum 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 dum, and then there's like loads of people like saying, you go first, no, you go first, no, I'm not going first. And then someone gets pushed out of the door, they're like on stage, and then they're like, oh, hello. And then this girl tries knocking back on the door, and then it opens and someone shouts there's no one in. And then she knocks again, and then it opens, and then loads of people come out and shout there's nobody there, and stuff like that. And then she'll like keep knocking again, and then the drum will come back in. And then this guy who waited up with me, Scottish guy, he had to then go down, and he had to like say stuff to the audience, like you're stupid, you're not confident enough, and stuff like that. Then he'd go on the stage, and then they'd read a script, and there'd be another woman out there who was sort of like walking down the street, and someone blanks her, and there's a good voice saying that she was just a bit busy, and then there was a bad voice saying, oh, she didn't like you, that's why she blanked you. And a little like scene sort of goes off, and then the song Titanium comes on by David Guetta, just a short like snippet of it, if you get what I mean. And then there's some shouting, but the audience don't know where it's from, and it's two people doing the stage and doing the lighting. And one of them is an animator. He makes animations, and he made an animation a while ago, and he sort of like dusted it up, and like we used it in the play. And basically then this animation would start, if you get what I mean. And then this song called Mirrors would come on after the animation, and loads of people would come out holding quotes, and then they would like show the quotes to the audience, and then they would go back and they would stick the quote on the door, if you know what I mean. And then one of the girls would stay on the stage, and then bang, I would come down holding my quote. So I would come down, I would hold my quote, my rap music would start, and then pretty much I'd put my quote on the door, I'd grab the mic, and then pretty much I'd start rapping, and I did this rap called "Lonely Girl." It's about a girl who feels alone, and I'm kind of like the explainer of like what's wrong with this girl, and then I'm kind of like helping her at the same time. So like I'm sort of showing in a way that going out, can't be hard, and you can do simple things like just going to a cafe, doing a bit of shopping. So in other words, what I'm saying is you don't have to go like somewhere in a completely massive crowd. Like first time, like if you're trying to go out to be confident, if you've not been out for a while. You don't have to go into a big city centre where loads of people are crossing roads and staring and busy traffic. You can just do simple things. And then I'm also like saying, like come for my advice for a slice, all of that stuff. And it went down quite well. I had the whole auditorium cheering me, which was absolutely fantastic. Never thought like that would happen. Well, not that I wasn't confident, but like it's so nerve wracking that you don't know how it's gonna go. And pretty much what went down is then I go off the stage. So I go off the stage, I go backstage this time, so not like where I came from, but pretty much like I go backstage, and then I go in this queue, and pretty much there's like another scene that comes on where like this where this like girl's trying to go out, and then there's like someone saying, no, you're not going out, you're not confident enough to go out, and she's like, yes, I am going out, I can do this, and no, you can't do this. And then like basically the bad voice gets overpowered by loads of people shouting, go away. And then that's when I come back out, with like loads of other people shout, go away, go away, go away. Then we all sit on chairs on the stage, and then two other ladies read a poem called I Rise. And the last three words of the poem is I rise, I rise, I rise. Then everyone rises, and then the same girl who stayed on the stage with me when I did the rap sings a solo song. So she sings a solo that we can't hear. Sorry, I had to say that. But no, she sings a bit of a solo, and then when the chorus comes in, we all join in, we all sing along with the song, which is called "I See Your True Colours Shining Through." Your true colours, and that's why I love you. I actually remembered it, and yeah, we sing on the chorus a bit like a choiry type thing, and then we all stand up. We all like make a line on the front of the stage, and then we all say something that we're grateful for. So I said I'm grateful for the music we have today, and then pretty much everyone says something. And the last person is the Scottish person, and he says that he's grateful for being alive. And then we shout at the audience, what are you grateful for? And then pretty much a song called "Simply the Best" comes on, and we have a little dance, and then we give these quotes out to people in the audience. We have a bit more of a dance, then you're back on the stage and we take a bow, and pretty much, do you know what I'm saying? Like pretty much like that's it. We take a bow and stuff like that, and then the play more or less finishes. But it was so fun to be part of. It was so nerve wracking, but at the same time, like it was so fun, if you get what I mean. It was so fun to do that, and it's just made me think in a way that I'd love to have my own like show in a theatre, like doing MCing. Like I'm not being funny, but I reckon I could. Like I think like if that same theatre, like I don't know, like this might sound daft, and I don't know if it would work, but the girls who I worked with the Find Your Voice, like I'm just thinking like if we worked together and we made a show like dedicated to me, if you know what I mean. So like I don't know, like so they sort of like just help me a bit, and then obviously like the tech guy with the lighting and the sound, and we just do like a little hour show like one night or like one afternoon again, where like I just like perform a few like songs and stuff like that. I think that could be quite good, but I don't know, like, because obviously I don't sort stuff like that out, so I don't know, like, how hard it would be, like, funding wise, but, they could make a little ticket price or something, and, like, I don't know, like, I get so much, like, percent of the ticket price, if you get what I mean. Um, but I don't know, like, how easy or how hard or how simple it is to do something like that. I mean, I don't organise shows. It's the same with events. Like, you can always say, like, oh, they should hold a massive event with all these DJs, but then you don't always think how hard it is for a person who organises an event to do something like that. If you know what I mean. Like, it can be harder. It can be probably harder than you think for someone to organise an event like that. Um, so unfortunately, I don't know if it would happen, but there is talk of another Find Your Voice thing happening with us again. I don't know why, but I mean they did a Find Your Voice in the summer, which was with different people. So obviously I didn't know about it. Then I didn't do it because I wasn't part of the. I wasn't part of the springboard, or I wasn't on the dole or anything like that then. But I think we were the better people. I think like this group worked better than the group they did in the summer. Not trying to show off, but there was more of us than there was the people in the summer. Some people did back out. There was like someone who didn't come back. There was a couple from the first session who didn't come back. There was someone from the there was a woman who was here last Monday, not yesterday, the Monday before. She was giving loads of ideas, and then Thursday and Monday she weren't here. Um, but I don't really know. It's just there's definitely like some people what didn't, what weren't here, but there was still more than the last session, and I think like everybody like grew like as a family, if you know what I mean. Like we all grew close together, and some people just like really got to know each other. We all got to know each other. It was a good group to be part of. I definitely, like it'd be good to stay in contact. It'd be good to meet up, and just have a coffee or something. I've been thinking about doing that myself actually, like, because obviously like I'm still at the job centre at the moment, so like, um, like I could just like come and, they said you can just go and have a coffee, so I might just go and have a coffee there sometime, have a catch up, and just, like, oh, I just thought I'd come and have a coffee, coffee or a tea or something. I was in Beverley type thing. Because it was a nice environment to be in, and I enjoyed going. And in a way, it's a shame that it's finished. But they are meant to be trying to do like another session, where apparently it's going to focus a bit more on like the costume and sort of like the makeup and sort of like, do you know what I mean? Whereas like this one was more about like just building your confidence and doing a performance. The next one is kind of more about like doing a show, if you know what I mean. Not as much your confidence, but apparently like they are thinking about it, and they are like trying to get it to happen. But the thing about it is when I was going the springboard, they paid for my travel, and that's a hard thing, you see, like, because like people they don't obviously want to pay for your travel 24/7, like, they aren't a bank account, you know what I'm saying? So like it is quite hard for them to like, organize things. Like you got to look at like paying the travel and how many people are going and stuff like that. Now personally, like, it was good that my travel was paid for, because it is quite expensive on the train. But now the groups are finished, and I've enjoyed them that much, like, in my personal experience, it it's worth paying the travel. Like I would like, like, say for example, if they said like, like all the groups can carry on, but you try, like you'd have to pay for your travel. I would seriously like consider still going and paying for my own travel. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I enjoyed it that much. It was such a good atmosphere that I would have paid the travel like if it had carried on. And if there was a new one that started, but they would, you'd have to pay for your own travel, I would do to go again because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it that much. But I think they'll do another Find Your Voice, as in like where it'll be like different people. So like I've already done it, so I maybe wouldn't like class as doing it, but I'd maybe like go and watch. I'd maybe go and watch like what they come up with, or something like that. But yeah, it'd be quite good. I'm looking for, hopefully I can stay in touch with them in the future. Hopefully we can meet, or we can meet up with some of them again. I've got a guy's phone number, which which would be good. So I can, the Scottish guy, I can keep in touch with him, which is all good. So I have his phone number, so I can, I have to drop him a message or.
Thank you. If you were.
Okay, no. Oh yeah, apologies, guys. So yeah, there we go. So that is the experience. So did it help me? Because I am a pretty confident guy already. I don't. I mean, I'm a bit nervous. Like I've got to admit, yeah, be truthful, honest. I was shitting a brick going on stage, like like going on stage in front of all of them people. Um, doing a full rap, and it was like the lights were dimmed and there was all these people watching it. It is nerve wracking. It is honestly nerve wracking, but I enjoyed it and I feel good that I did it. I feel like I've accomplished something, and I do honestly. It feels great to say that I've done it. It feels great that it's happened. It feels great that it's gone down. But it's like I say, it's just a shame it's over. That's probably the most disappointing thing because I love the people in that group. I'm not gonna lie. Like you feel like you become part of a family. It's a bit like leaving school, I suppose. In a way, like because you've gone to school with people for years on end, and then like you're leaving and you're going off in a way and doing your separate things. It's a little bit upsetting, and it's a little bit like that. But even more so with this group because you haven't had like years being with each other. Like there wasn't enough time for someone to annoy another person, or someone to get on someone else's nerves, or someone to share an emotional moment with someone. Do you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like you just get introduced. You get introduced, and then like you have a couple of sessions to get to know each other. You do the play, and then bang, it's done. It's over. And then everyone who you've known is bada bing bada boom. But yeah, definitely did enjoy it though. Like you know, but yeah, did it help? Yes, it definitely helped though. It built my confidence up massively on the stage. 100%. Yeah, definitely built my confidence up. But anyway, guys, I think that is going to about do this stream. I've got to go to the job centre today. I've got to do my normal sign on thing. I don't have to go yet, but I've said like all I really need to say. And this stream is, it's gone on a bit now to tell the story. But no, yeah, I've got to be there. And unfortunately, as well, I wanted to save the sort of bad news till the end, but our dog, we're taking him to the vets today, and this could be like the end of the line for him. Um, so if you guys don't know me, I have a boxer dog. He's called Billy, and he turned 13 just recently, which is a massively good age for a boxer dog. And some days he runs around the garden like a 2-year old. like you'd still think he's a puppy. If you go out and you've been out a while and you come back, he jumps up, he's happy, he's excited to see you. He's he wags his tail like a 2-year-old. He licks your face. He sits on your knee. But then other days he shows signs of being an old age dog, and he isn't too good on his back legs. He sometimes has trouble in the night with his bad legs, like getting downstairs. So like, because he sleeps upstairs, he has his own bed, like upstairs in my nan and granddad's bedroom, and usually he would like he'd know to wake my nan or granddad up, and he'd go downstairs and go to the back door to come outside and go to the loo. But because he's like bad on his back legs, he isn't sort of getting down in time, so he's like ended up peeing in the house. His eyes aren't too good, and he's bad on his legs. So like he slipped down the stairs the other day and headbutted a glass cabinet, and he cracked the glass. Well, the glass cabinet was already cracked, but he made the crack about 5 times worse. And then like some days he'll just like his food won't agree with him. So he'll be sick from his food. Sometimes he'll just have bad guts, and he absolutely eats and eats and eats like anybody crackers. You'd think he would be on the man vs food, but he just doesn't put any weight on, and he has got, I think, like a cancer lump on the side of his belly. But most of the time, he is a happy dog. He does run up and down the garden like like a 2-year-old. But there is just the odd days where you would think that where he's ill, and like as much as he seems happy, like he's not right on his back legs. So like, and like we're kind of like he seems happy, but at the same time we're thinking like, are we being cruel, like keeping him alive, if you know what I mean? Like like is he suffering with his back legs? Is he really not well? Is he just like not with it anymore? Um, but then at the same time, like you see him happy, and you think like, how could you just let a happy dog like that go? But he has been, he's been a good dog. He's been one of the best dogs that we've ever had, and I think when he goes, I think I'll go. I think I'll just completely break down. Um, I love dogs. I don't like dogs dying. Well, I'm sure nobody does, but some people say like, oh, it's just your pet animal. But I'd probably cry for a dog dying, probably maybe even more than I'd cry for a human dying. Like I absolutely love dogs, and you can call me daft, but I lay on the floor and cuddle my dog. I lay the dog out on my knee and stroke its belly. I kiss the dog. I stroke it. I let it come up on my bed. I let it puts its arms around me. Well, its paws, its legs. Like cuddles up to me and licks my face. And do you know what I mean? Like I treat, I don't just treat the dog as the pet that just sits on the floor. If it sits on the floor, I often sit on the floor with it. I stroke it. I stroke him, and I talk to him and stuff like that. And do you know what I'm saying? Like I think like right now I don't feel that bad because I'm hoping that they might they might give him an injection and just say, look, he's got a bit longer. Like see how the injection goes, and he might do well to the injection, which is which it could be a good thing. It's all depends what the vet says really, um, but like I think like once he goes, and once like I come downstairs to get a drink, and he's not laid in front of the fire, and you're going out and you're not putting stuff on the sofa so he doesn't climb on the sofa, or you're being out and you come back in and he's not, you unlock the back door and he's not there wagging his tail. I think that's going to be the hard thing. I think that's going to be the hard part, knowing that he's not there anymore. Um, it does sort of makes me feel a bit upset now thinking about it, but yeah, it's just the way it is, I suppose. I'm just in a way I'm pleased that he's had a good life. That's one thing, because I know some people what don't treat the dogs right. I'm not gonna say who, but I do know people that are a little bit like, the dog's the dog. Who who just is a pain to them, if you know what I mean. Like some people get dogs to use dogs, like to breed them and make money. I don't know anyone who does that, but there is a lot of people who just like shut dogs in another room and don't bother with them, and never like stroke them, or do you know what I mean, or just like send them outside, or do you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's not part of having a dog. Like, you may as well not have a dog if you just want to shut them in another room all the time, or if you just want to shut them outside. Um, that's just my personal opinion. I just find, like, if you have a dog, like, I'm the type, like, if I lived in my own house and I had a dog, I would let it on the sofa. Like, I would let the dog sit on the sofa. That's just me personally. I'd let the dog sleep on the bed. And, I wouldn't have a special room where the dog couldn't go in. I wouldn't shut the dog out or shut the dog in another room, or anything like that. The dog could be free to go in any room that I go in. Um, but that's just me. That's just me personally. I love my dogs, and I don't like neglecting dogs. I don't like, I don't like to think of them just shut in another room. If they want to go and lay in another room, fair enough. I ain't obviously going to stop them, but I ain't going to shut them in another room and say, you're not allowed in this room because you're mucking the carpet. If they're mucking the carpet, I mean, we're mucking the carpet essentially, aren't we? I mean, I know we can do things like take our shoes off so we don't walk on it, but essentially we're mucking and using the carpet. So why can't the dog? Do you know what I'm saying? Um, and obviously, it's all part of having a dog. Like, some people say, oh, they don't want the bother of picking the hairs up or whatever, but then you think, like, why have a dog then? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you have a dog, you've got to, it comes with responsibilities like picking the hairs up, and you know what I mean, and cleaning its mess up, and this, that, and the other. So, but yeah, that's it. So, unfortunately, today could be the final day for the dog. Be a shame if it is. It'd be upsetting. Like I say, I don't know. To be honest, I suppose in a way I'll get over it. Like, I mean, when we lost our other dog, we had another boxer dog years ago. I was only young, be about 2005, I think, when we lost the dog. I remember like the day being told that the dog had gone. I was only in like infant school or something. I remember waking up like that morning, and I remember like she was laid at dog was laid at our front door. It just laid there and it couldn't move. Like, it was, it wouldn't move. It was, it had some other. I don't know if it was like cancer or something, but it wouldn't move. Um, and it just, it won't move, and my dad had to carry it all the way to my nan's, because obviously my dad would have been going to work that day, so my mum had gone to work as well, I think, or something like that, and I went to school obviously as normal, and I got picked up from school, and I'm sorry, I'm afraid the dog's gone, the dog's died, I'm afraid. Um, and I'm, not gonna lie, it was quite upsetting. Got back to my nan's, and my dad was sat on the sofa. And, it was a tear. It was a tear of Rex. He was all over the place. He was roaring like a kid. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, a good 7 or 8 years after that dog died, if I looked at a photo, I'd still get upset over the picture. Because that dog in a way was like, sometimes when a certain dog takes to a specific family member, that dog in a way it sort of had taken to me, when I was like a baby, like in like, well, I don't really remember this, but what I've seen from photos, like as a baby, like in sort of like little like like rocking chairs and stuff like that, whatever you call them. You know, the dog would sit next to me. The dog would always like sit near me, and stuff like that. And it would always like try and cuddle me, stuff like that. Which, you know, like some dogs don't. You know, some dogs take to a specific family member. Um, this one had taken to me. This one had taken to me, and that's the way it went. That's the story. So yeah, so you know, I'm a bit older now, so I maybe won't be as bad as I was like back then. But it's still upsetting, like when you live with a dog for 13 years. Like, I mean, it was 2005 when we got the dog we've got now. We it weren't long. Like my dad was just straight up with it. You know, I can't do this. I can't cope. I can't live in the house without another dog. So we started looking, and we got this dog from Nottingham. Went to Nottingham, picked him up. I remember I had him on my knee, in a basket, in like a little bucket basket thing, little puppy. When we were bringing him back, and I remember stroking him, stuff like that. It was on Christmas Eve actually. It was like a Christmas present for us all. You know, we got him back to Nan's and stuff like that, and you know, then we brought him back home, obviously, and there he was, Puppy Billy, and he was just absolutely, you know, it was just fantastic. He's been a fantastic dog, and I just, you know, hopefully, I mean, they might give him this injection, and they might say, look, see how he goes, and he might, you know, he might pick up from the injection again. He might, you know, but there again, at the same time, like every time he goes a bit bad, you can't just keep giving him an injection for so long and hoping he'll be all right. You know, he's gonna go at some point, but we'll just see what happens. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave the stream here, so if you would please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for the story time, and